Hello, my Aloha tribe, and welcome to the Aloha Perspective. Happy Monday. It is Monday, and funny story about what's going to happen this morning. I knew about this beforehand, and yet I still wasn't prepared, of course. So a lot of you know that I didn't have a show on Friday. My oldest kitty passed away unexpectedly. Went downhill very fast, unexpectedly, and or maybe not so unexpectedly. You know, the hard thing about cats is that cats are a lot like stubborn humans, and by that I mean they just pretend they're okay, they pretend they're okay, they pretend they're okay, and you really don't have any clue until they're literally within their last days. And I'm not sure if that's what happened, but I don't have kids, so my fur babies are my babies. And I know for other people who do have kids, their fur babies are their babies, but I mean they are literally my only children. They're still fur babies, and the amount of time that you're given with them is very, very limited. But because of that, we didn't do Oracle Friday. But also because of that, I've just been the shock is finally wearing off. It's the first time, I've had kitties brought to the vet where they're helped to cross the Rainbow Bridge. But this is the first time I've ever talked one of my kitties through it, and she passed away in my arms because it was too late. We didn't have time to go to the vets by the time I was in San Diego because I'm house sitting for my dad. And by the time I got home, it was, there was no time. And within the next half hour of me picking her up and holding her, she was gone. So there's been a lot of emotions this weekend and everything, but I also didn't do Oracle Friday. So the funny story about this is, this morning I was talking to an older sibling, and I told her, I said, I'm going to switch it around today a little bit. Friday I will still do Oracle Friday. But I said, I think I'm going to do like a Whimsical Monday, just do, an Oracle Monday. And she's like, huh? And I said, well, basically, I was just kind of not in my mind this weekend, so I have nothing prepared for Mental Health Month. So I'm just going to take the easy way out and do Oracle Monday. But anyways, I did have cards here for Friday, but like I said, it never happened. So I'm going to go with the guidelines, and then we're going to get rolling, and tomorrow we will be back with Mental Health Monday. And of course, on Friday, I will do Oracle Friday again, probably with the same deck of cards, because I don't want to keep running back and forth with cards. So anyways, number one, do not worry where the message is coming from. I only work from a good place. So if you're seeing this, there's a reason you are here. And for anybody that's new, if you're wondering why I'm reading these guidelines, it's because if I don't, I tend to ramble. Number two, do not make a card fit your question if it does not resonate with you. Forcing an outcome or an answer not meant for you can cause unnecessary stress and overthinking. Number three, I will give you the message I receive in the message from the book because someone took the time to write it and put it together. So there you go. There are your Oracle things. We're going to start with the angel answers like we usually do. And it just feels awkward doing this on a Monday. I know it feels kind of weird doing this on a Monday. But anyways, tossing it up a bit. Ooh. So this one got stuck in the box, so I have a funny feeling this is meant for somebody. Ask your angels if you're struggling with anything, or you're struggling to figure things out, or ask your angels, ask your higher power. If you don't have a higher power, angels are non-denominational. All right, they are non-denominational. Anybody can believe in them. So they could be considered your spirit guides, your guardian angels, whatever you want to call them. So those spirit energies that make noise in your house that because they're tripping over things and don't mean to, and then they accidentally scare you. Those things. So anyways, angel answers. This is one of the decks. This is the only deck I do not read the book from unless I feel absolutely compelled to, because I pull these cards to wait for other people to come on. So there's one. Oh, there's two. Ooh, two came out in that one. I'm not sure if you saw that flying out of the deck. So there's another one, and there's two more. All right. I usually try to go with 5. So let's see. Put these on the top. All right. All right, so the first two that came up, it's up to you. It is up to you. Um, Even when we ask for help or we ask our angels for help, when it says it's up to you, you may feel like your back is up against the wall, that you have no other direction to go in, but it's up to you to ask for help. So, that could be a lot of things. It's up to you to get your ball rolling. It's up to you to take the first step. But if you do feel like you've taken all these steps, it's still up to you to ask for help. Okay? They're not just, that's the thing about angels. They need to be asked. It's kind of like if you want to go into, it's like a vampire, right? A vampire cannot enter a person's home unless they're invited in. So, they have to be invited in order to, enter. It's the same with angels. I know. It's like Shelly Marie, that's kind of a weird example, but it's like angels. If you need their help, you have to ask them. They can't do anything without your permission. All right. So, they probably could, but the code is, if you want them to enter, you need to invite them in. So it's up to you to ask for help. Number 2, helpful people. If you ask, you shall receive, and you will probably get helpful people. They may not seem very helpful at first, but if you stop and listen instead of being angry and being kind of, standoffish, if you stop to listen to what they are saying, you are probably going to get the message that you need, and you're going to get the help you need. It's not always about the physical help from people. Sometimes it's about the mental and emotional help you can get from people. Number 3, meditation brings awareness. So it's up to you to stop, take a deep breath, and just kind of chill. Just go inward. Meditation is great for that. A lot of you may be saying, oh, I'm terrible at meditation. If you have a timer on your phone, or you have an Echo that you can set a timer on, meditation can be done in as little as a minute. I know people are saying, but that's not very long. No, but you can build your way up. I started at 5 minutes, and depending, if I set a timer, I'm good. It's like a mental thing with me. If I set a timer, then I can literally go in and do some deep meditation. If I don't set a timer, my brain wanders everywhere. My brain literally wanders everywhere. So having that mental note in the back of my head that I have a timer set means that I have a specific amount of time to reach in and do what I need to do. So, you can start small, start with a couple of minutes, go, there's apps out there. If you belong to Kaiser, then the Calm app is free to you. And that's a pretty expensive app. It's like $60 a year. So you're literally getting like $60 worth of meditations for the year, which is like about $5 a month, but you're getting that for free if you're a Kaiser member. So, yeah, I didn't even know that. My therapist told me. So it's like, yay. But, so there's that. And there's just all kinds of things, meditation is a wonderful, wonderful tool. And like I said, it may be hard for some people, but again, my mind tends to wander. So figure out what you can do to kind of just nail your feet down into one spot and just kind of glue your butt to wherever it is you're sitting or laying in. And I choose most of the time I have meditated laying down, but I choose to sit up because sometimes I'll fall asleep. And if you fall asleep, it's okay. Especially if you have that wandering mind, right? You can do meditation before you go to bed, because sometimes what keeps us awake is that monkey mind happening in here. And I have a circus in my head, okay? But sometimes the monkeys sleep, and most of the time they don't. They're like monkeys on caffeine, monkeys on crack. So they're crazy. But yeah, they just go and go and go. So there's one thing I've also tried, and I'm going to share this. It just kind of hit my head. When I'm going to sleep, sometimes I'll just repeat this in my head. There are answers in the silence. There are answers in the silence. And you can you can say anything, but for me, sometimes it's like my brain just constantly is going. Even when I'm like trying to fall asleep, my brain is just going and going and going. And sometimes I'll just stop it. And I don't always remember to do this, but when I do, I'm usually asleep within 5 minutes because I'm calming my mind down. And by that I mean it's like maybe one of these things rolling through my head needs an answer. So I'll literally just tell myself there are answers in the silence. And that kind of helps to just put a wave over me. So there's a lot of different ways. You can go to YouTube and figure out, hey, how do I meditate? Believe it or not, YouTube have every video under the sun. All right. So if you want to learn, that's how I learned. I followed a 28-day thing. And I can't remember who it was, because this is about 7, 8, 9 years ago. And I just did one a day, and that's what she had. She had one a day. So it was like 28 days of meditation, and they were all different types of meditation. And I found the ones that work for me. Some of them I put together to make it work for me. So, like I said, YouTube, ask for help from others. So I think our theme here is help. Do you need help from somebody else? Are you feeling stuck? Are you feeling backed up against the wall? Are you feeling like you cannot move, like your feet are glued or cemented to one spot? Ask for help from people. Help seems to be our theme. And this is what's interesting, is that I really feel that the reading we're getting today would have been the reading we would have gotten Friday. Because I was thinking about this yesterday, and I thought, you know what? I'm going to do Oracle Monday. I'm going to do like a Mystical Monday, or a Whimsical Monday. And I don't want to use Mystic, because that's actually somebody's company, Mystic Monday, and I love it. It's one of my favorite card decks, or a couple of my favorite card decks are made by Grace Dong. And I believe she's based in Philadelphia, but oh my God, I love her stuff. So that's why I'm trying to stay away from Mystic Monday, because that's her thing. But yeah, quick plug for her, because she's amazing. And no, these people don't know me or anything, but I get a lot of my products from there. So, or I did in the past. So anyways, I really feel like today's messages were meant to be given on Friday, which is why I'm bookending this week with Oracle readings. So the next 3 days will be about mental health, self-care, self-love, all that stuff. But Monday and Friday will both be Oracle readings. But again, it feels like our theme right now is help, getting help. The last card is within the next few months. So I always try to put these together to make like a short kind of story, inspirational type of story. So it's up to you. It's up to you to ask for help from others, in which turn you will be given helpful people. Now, these are interchangeable. Meditation brings answers. Maybe it's up to you to ask for help from others and also meditate on whatever it is that's bothering you. The helpful people will enter your life, and whatever it is you're trying to get going and get motivated and to whatever get motivated for, it's going to happen within the next few weeks. But the trick is you have to be strong. No negativity. I know you're thinking that's not possible. It is possible. My cousin recommended a book for me called, it's by Ed Milet. He's a motivational speaker. The Power of One More. Now he's an adult child of an alcoholic. And for kids who grew up with alcoholic parents, like older sibling, that term will make sense. Older sibling has had me read a book called Adult Children of Alcoholics. Not because I don't have alcoholic parents, but I did suffer trauma when I was younger. So it's, the whole book itself is intended to help people through their trauma, and I noticed there were a lot of similarities between Adult Children of Alcoholics and, my own trauma, which was completely different. But it's one of these things where, the trauma matters, but it doesn't matter what kind of trauma it is. Somehow when you're a child, your brain gets skewed. And you all kind of end up bunched up together. Your how you got here may be different, but your experience is very, very similar. But what I liked about this was that he talks about this. And I spent the last, I just started reading it yesterday because I didn't get here till yesterday. But I listened to a couple of his YouTube videos, and I thought, including one with Jay Shetty that baby sibling sent me. So what I liked about it was I was kind of utilizing this. Like I really wanted to emotional eat all weekend. I did on Friday. But then Saturday rolled along and I thought, I can't keep doing this. I can't keep emotionally eating every time, So I was really craving something. And I thought, you know what? No, just, in this case, it's just, the power of one more is just doing one more thing, making that extra call, making that extra trip, making that, like if you're out on errands and you're like, oh, I'm tired, it's just kind of doing one more thing. And so I thought, okay, I'm going to go the next hour without this. I'm going to go the next hour without this. And then eventually it got to the point where I just ended up eating something at home because it's like, yeah, I don't feel like going out now. And it worked out. And it was the same with yesterday. I mean, yesterday I almost went into downtown La Mesa because, one of my favorite metaphysical shops are there, and I needed some incense. But I thought, no, because one of the things that scared me was that I was going to go out and emotionally eat. And so I thought, no, I need to stay home. And so I thought, you know what, just make it through one more hour. Just make it through one more. The next thing I know, I ended up at the grocery store just, getting something to eat. So instead of the fast food, which I really, really wanted. So it's just about pushing yourself and that's just it. He tells the story about how his father, went to rehab and everything, came home. He asked him, hey, are you done for good? And he's all like, I don't know. But, I'm just going to see if I can do it for one more day. And all his one more days piled up. And, whether you are an addict, an alcoholic, an emotional eater, maybe you have a different type of eating disorder. I think this is a very powerful statement. The power of one more isn't just about doing that extra task or making that extra phone call. And these are all his examples. It's about telling yourself, hey, you know what? Just make it to the next moment and see what happens. And when you get to that moment, make it to the next one. And it was very interesting. And I'm really excited about reading the book. The book already has hit me between the eyes. And I'm only on the first paragraph. I finished the introduction. I'm on the first paragraph. And it's like, oh my God. So, I think it'll be okay. Anyways, the next deck, the New Orleans deck. But yeah, going back to the angel answers, it's up to you. If you want to change, you have to be the one to put the first foot forward. Nobody's going to change for you. People can help you. People can guide you. But that's just it. I mean, those cards were all about people helping you. It's up to you to ask for help. It's up to you to make that first step, to reach out. And it can be scary. That's, sometimes I think the scariest part about asking for help is the asking part. And the first person you come to may not be able to help you, but the next person might. And they might be able to put you in touch with somebody else who can help you. So it's just up to you to not give up on you. So let's see. The New Orleans deck. What does the New Orleans deck got? I don't know. It feels like everything wants to be. It's quiet. Come on, New Orleans deck. Shout at us. Yell at us. Say something. There we go. All right, one more shuffle. See if anything comes out. Nope. All right then. Alrighty then. Ooh, learning. Learning's amazing. Learning's fun. Like legit fun. When we're forced to go to school, a lot of us don't want to, but when we have the choice to go on our own, it's like a whole new experience. It's like amazing, But we can learn a lot. And this goes again back to the help cards. We can learn a lot from, we can just learn a lot. We can learn a lot from people, we can learn a lot from school, we can learn a lot from books. We can learn a lot on our own, the things we teach ourselves. So don't sell yourself short. The more you know, the more you realize how much there is left to learn. You are currently in a learning and growth cycle that will lead you in the direction you desire. During this time, you will be more aware of patterns and synchronicities, especially within yourself. Although you might be tempted to tell yourself that you already know there is a difference between understanding something on an intellectual level and understanding something on an emotional or intuitive one. There are many times that knowing something intellectually gets confused with truly getting it. To understand something in its entirety, it is necessary to have both a willingness to process and acceptance at every level. It is okay to feel like you're repeating certain experiences or emotions. It is through this process that you gain more clarity and healing. It is important to be patient with yourself and others during this process by stepping back and taking an objective approach when assessing all of the different aspects of your life. It is necessary to be patient with people. Sometimes we are going to relive the same lesson over and over and over again. And depending on what the situation is, maybe you're healing trauma, maybe you're healing, grief or a mood or an emotion. And we continually cycle through these things until we've healed it. Healing is literally like an onion. It can make you cry. It can make you hurt. Because sometimes the smell is super powerful and you're just like, oh my god. But it can make you, it can burn your eyes. But yeah, it can be painful. And the more we peel back the onions, and then you chop up these things, right? And then you grill it and you saute it, and then all of a sudden they're amazing. And that's kind of what we're doing to our emotions and our feelings and the things that we're learning. We are taking it and turning it into something beautiful, taking it and turning it into something, that's tangible, that we can touch and we can feel and say, hey, you know what? This is coming at me, but I've got this. And when you look back and you think about when you first started peeling that onion, there's a sense of accomplishment there because you've moved through something, and no matter how fast or how slow you moved through it, there is no time limit on healing. But I would say this, put a small time limit on it. Don't, when you know that you've healed and you know that these things don't bother you anymore the way they used to, they may hurt from time to time. They may evoke the emotion from time to time, but they don't make you spiral the way they used to. Listen to that, but move forward from it. That is one of the things that really had me feeling stuck, is that I just couldn't figure out how to move from this place I used to be in to the place I know I need to be in. And that's why I was talking about the first page of that book, which was kind of like, boom, hit me right in the middle of the face. It face palmed me. I mean, it really did feel like it face palmed me, because sometimes we get stuck. Your identity has been this for so long, but it's not a healthy one. It wasn't a healthy place to be. There was a great part of you just really struggling to get out of that cocoon, right? Just really trying to push out. And it hurts. It does. But it's also like a sense of accomplishment. But we're sitting there going, oh my God, how do I deal with this? How do I live with this? And then one day you look back and you're like, whoa, I'm there. But then everything looks, unfamiliar ahead of you. Everything might feel dark because you haven't painted your picture yet. And sometimes it's just one of those things. When you take a step, you're adding color. Another step, more color, another step. And it's just, you're creating this world around you, but you're doing it as you go. You're not doing it, you're not painting this picture and then walking into it saying, this is how it should be. Because you know what? Then you're going to notice the flaws. Oh, well, that color isn't the right color, or that color's in the wrong place, or I didn't want this here. And I'll be honest with you, like, I literally feel like someone's speaking through me, like I'm getting the message myself. When we just walk and we add the color as we go, we're creating this beautiful, unfamiliar picture. That way, one day when we look back on it, to be like, wow, look what I did. I overcame all this stuff. I closed the door on that. I shut the door on it. I locked it and threw away the key. And now, here I am. I'm in this place. I'm in this beautiful place. So allow this for yourself. Allow yourself to be there. Allow yourself to have this. Okay? So the next one, the Enchanted Unicorn deck. I love this deck. This is one of my favorites. And mostly because the pictures, these unicorn, I mean, look at this unicorn, all right? This is one we had the last time. I mean, it's just all chill and mellow. They're fun. Wow. One card popped out, but I think we had this one. Sweet and gentle power. So be in your sweet and gentle power. Okay, I don't think this is one that we're supposed to cover today, but be flowerful. Be sweet and gentle in your power. Okay, So you can be strong and amazing and magnificent, but you don't have to be an asshole about it. All right. You don't say, yeah, well, look what I did for you. When you get mad because people don't always reciprocate, or they don't always reciprocate the way we want them to, or would hope they would. Sometimes you're going to do things for people and they're just going to run with it and be like, yeah, whatever, thanks. Or thanks for doing that. Talk to you later. And then you won't see them for a long time. But it's okay. We don't do things to receive back. We do things because it feels good to give. And when we do receive back, that's great. You may not receive back from that person, but something good may happen to you via somebody else. Because the universe and your higher powers and all that, they're watching. They see you and they're saying, look, this person, I don't know, but this person has a lot to give them. So enter that person. All right. So shroom. Think outside the box. Think outside the box. Shrooming. Shrooming. Think outside the box. I love the God. See, this is what I mean. They're just so colorful and vibrant and fun. And just fun. I mean, that's like a flying unicorn. It's like a pegacorn. Is that what they're called? I don't know what they're called. The flying unicorns. Pegacorn. A Unisys. I actually think that's a company, Unisys. But anyways, which I think is what, Universal Systems? I can't remember. But anyways, shroom. So obviously this is a mushroom. Number 20. Number 20. My brain is going right now. It's like, oh, number 20. That's the letter T in the alphabet. I know. You know what? The reason I know the alphabet and their number correspond is because I am so fascinated by numerology, and I'm so fascinated, and there are numbers and letters everywhere. I mean, you could be getting a message from a license plate right in front of you and have no clue because it doesn't mean anything to you, whether it's triple threes or maybe you have a TTT or a HHH. HHH is 888, and 888 is an infinity number. 222, to me it's a very powerful mystical number. But I mean, there's numbers everywhere, right? Or you could get like a ABC, which is like 1, 2, 3. Those could be steps for you, so I know my brain just goes to the numbers. So that's how I know 1 through 26, A through Z. So oh, and you're probably thinking, yeah, but so there is no, what is it? Sometimes the letters, like if you get like a 26, right? It may not always be the letter Z. You may be like, well, Z doesn't make any sense to me. So if it doesn't make any sense to you, take the two letters and you add them up, which is 8. And 8 is infinity. So there's a lot of different combinations. You have to let your brain, if you were like me and you see numbers and letters and signs everywhere in those things, just remember, it's not always going to be as cut and dry as you think it is. Sometimes, you might have a, or you might have a 1 BC something, and it could be steps, it could be 1, 2, 3, 1 BC, 1, 2, 3. So, it's all, I mean, that's like a whole subject for another day, right? But yeah, that's how my brain works. And I've gotten a lot of signs through license plates. I know, it's crazy. So anyways, let's see. The shroom, think outside the box. The lighting, you know what? There's a monitor on my desk now for my cousin when she comes and visits. And it's blocking the light, so it's kind of hard for me to see this. Sky blue mushrooms. Ooh, sky blue mushrooms. So yeah, my eyeballs are getting old. I've been wearing glasses since 3rd grade, so it's not a surprise that I'm practically blind. Anyways, at first glance, the blue sky mushroom looks like an unearthly being, a bright luminous blue against the green forest background. In fact, it looks like something out of Alice in Wonderland. Oh, yeah. That's pretty magical. That's a magical mushroom. The fungus is native to New Zealand and some parts of India. It is not considered edible, but bizarrely, no one seems to know if it's toxic either. While it is highly decorative, any other valuable qualities are yet to be discovered. I know, that's one of those things where you're like, do you lick it or do you not want to die? Nobody knows what's going to happen. So anyways, Let's see. The unique and extraordinary beauty of the sky blue mushroom encourages us to entertain unique and extraordinary ideas. Think outside the box. For every problem, there is a solution. Specifically, for every environmental problem created by humans, there is a resolution. We just need to find it by using ingenuity and resourcefulness. Instead of complaining or getting angry and full of despair about the Earth's environmental challenges, resolve to do something about it. Be part of the key that unlocks incredible results. The Shroom Unicorn encourages clever solutions that will help to protect the Earth and sustain human life. The first step is to tap into the natural world by communing with plants and nature. Ask for guidance from Mother Earth. This action will lead you to research the practicalities and start generating ideas. Within nature, there are secrets and hidden clues that make human life easier as protecting the environment. The two need not be mutually exclusive. Wonderful environmental initiatives are already starting to happen. The world needs your optimism, innovation, and action. So, when we talk about thinking outside of the box, that's everything, not just environmental. And I belong to a group, and the woman literally can communicate with trees. Now, some of you are probably going, seriously, Shelley Marie? But why are we so quick to judge that? Okay, I'm going to say something that's mildly controversial, but I got it from young Sheldon. So young Sheldon is basically an atheist, but his mother is a Baptist, very hardcore Baptist. And she says something to him, and he basically responds, this is coming from the woman who prays to an invisible guy in the sky, or something like that. So if we're putting our faith that there is somebody out there, that there is something out there, I do believe in God. I have a lot of different deities that sit at my spiritual table. Okay, so that's my faith and trust that they are real. Not everybody has that. Not everybody has that belief. But even if you don't believe, there are people who are atheists or people who are religious who are thinking, Shelley Marie, seriously, this is the one thing a lot of them will agree on. Seriously, I have a friend that talks to trees. But why don't we listen? The earth talks to us every moment of every day. The birds chirping, the wind in the trees. I can hear older sibling. There's a movie. But yeah, anyways, I don't want to sidetrack again. But anyways, but the wind in the trees, during the first month of COVID, when the whole world was shut down and all the air was clean, I literally saw on a misty day the tree letting off oxygen. It was amazing. I mean, I inspected it because I thought, well, maybe something's just coming up, but I could see it rising. And the reason I could was because the mist was just perfect. It was basically lighting up this invisible, element and giving it a color, giving it a picture between the overcast and the mist in the air. And it was just like, it was magical. But not everybody can talk either, right? People use sign language. People use tapping. People use all kinds of different things to communicate if they can't speak. But everything that breathes, everything that is on this planet has some type of life force. Think about all the people that name their cars, right? And talk to their cars or talk to the plants in their house. This is what we mean by thinking outside of the box. I know you may think I'm nuts, and that's okay. That's your prerogative. That's your choice. But my stance in life, it's taken me a long time to get here. It's taken me a long time to admit it. If you can't prove to me that it doesn't exist, then maybe it does. Think about all those myths and legends out there, right? Of things that people have written fantastical books about. How do we know they don't exist? Because we haven't seen it with our own eyes. But a lot of people will close themselves down to the possibility. Whereas a lot of people will open themselves up to the possibility and say, why not? I had a plant that used to thrive when I talked to it. I was terrible. I have a brown thumb. I mean, it's not even brown. I have a black thumb. I kill things. I kill plants. Okay, when it comes to plants, cannot keep them alive. Animals, yes. Plants, no. And So yeah, I'm not skilled in that field, but I do love to talk to them. I can't say that I hear them because that's not my gift. But people have this gift. People who commune with nature. The Native Americans, the First Nations. They all, nature was what they worshipped. They took care of nature. They lived on the land. They lived with the land. It wasn't just setting up a teepee and living there. They lived with the land. The land provided, and they showed gratitude, and they gave back as much as they could. They planted things, they grew things, they kept the cycle of life going. And somehow along the way, we've lost that, and we need to find a way to get that back. So if you see someone talking to a tree or hugging a tree, just leave them alone. Unless you want to go hug that tree with them, leave them the hell alone. Because they obviously are tuned into something you can't hear. And maybe the reason you can't hear is because you've basically done this or done this. Because you don't want to believe it. You don't want to think that something that beautiful is possible. So keep your minds open to possibility. Think outside the box. So the next... Oh God, it's like I'm being tested at every turn. Next card. Sex magic. I feel like I am not the authority to speak on this. Love, sex, and magic. There was a... Oh God, what is the Chili Peppers album? The Red Hot Chili Peppers. Blood Sugar Sex Magic. That was it. Blood Sugar Sex Magic. It was one of my favorite albums. I like their older stuff more, but that was a good album. I think it was like one of my last favorite albums I liked from them, and then I moved on because they went in a different direction. But I like all the funk and stuff that they did early on. But yeah, that was actually a good album. And I say that only because that's kind of when I discovered that was with that album. So, and then I went backwards. But yeah, love, sex, and magic. So card number 34, sex magic. And if you want to add those numbers, 3 plus 4 is 7, which is lucky. Lucky number 7, right? So, okay. I know. You're like, Shelly Marie, grow up. Grow up, girl. The mandrake. Oh, the mandrake plant. That is funny. I'm not gonna lie, but if you really kind of look at this unicorn, it looks like it just had an orgasm. Like its eyeballs are gonna roll back into its head. Like, yeah, baby. I'm sorry. I don't mean to keep giggling. I was not expecting this card. I didn't even know this card existed in this deck. And I'm being honest. When I first get a deck, I try not to, I'll bless them and I'll do all the things, but I don't spend a lot of time staring at them because I like to feel like I'm learning along with other people. I like to be surprised. So we may have had this card before, but honestly, I do not remember it. I might have giggled it right out of my head. But I'm really trying to be an adult about this. But, yeah, you know what? All right, just let me take a deep breath. There's a reason I'm giggling. There's a reason I am giggling. And I think, one, it's because there is nothing wrong with sex. There's nothing wrong with the act of sex or the act of intimacy with somebody else or intimacy with yourself. And that's why I'm kind of giggling, because I've been very open about it on other shows that when you've been single for a long time, you got to figure out ways to take care of yourself. And so let's just say, some tools we forget at home when we are off and about. And sometimes you buy new tools that turn out to be a lot tinier, but a hell of a lot more powerful and magical. So at some point this weekend, that was probably my face, but, and I know it gets a little personal and, you're saying like, why are you talking about your intimate stuff? If I had a partner, I would not talk about my intimate life, my personal intimacy with somebody, because that's private. That's between the two of you. But I know as a single person, a lot of times we're just so ashamed, but we have needs. Okay. We have needs. We have needs. I mean, sometimes you might share and someone might say, whoa, you got some because you're not as moody. And, but then you just say, yeah, it was magical. And you don't give details because you're like, no, that's me and my partner. But I'm going to tell you right now, I know I can see older siblings putting her laughing emojis. But let's just say it was mighty tiny, but mighty powerful. And yeah. But, I'm really trying to take the stigma out of this. I'm really trying to take the shame out of this. I don't want to embarrass anybody. I'm not sitting here going, put it in the comments if you have a vibrator. No, I'm just, I know. I'm giggling because it's still a little hard of a subject for me to talk about because it's a little embarrassing. But I think it's because of how we're raised and how, these little things are put into our head that it's not, she just like did the face. I know. I have no shame. Technically I have no shame, but I'm acting like I do. But that's just it. We put shame on it. We put this stigma on it that, oh my God, it's bad. But it's not. You're taking care of yourself. It's self-love. It's self-care. If you got to do it, you got to do it. I mean, guys will talk about it. Oh yeah, man, I didn't have anybody's help. Oh, hello. I know, they don't care. They're just kind of like, they're just out there. But women, for some reason, just get very gun shy when it comes to talking about their intimacy. And kudos to all these women out there who put these books out that say, just love your body, sex isn't a bad thing, your body is beautiful and, it deserves to be taken care of in every single way. We have to remove that. We have to remove the shame that we put on it. Your body feels things. And it can also let off a lot of tension and a lot of steam. Like literally can let off a lot of tension and a lot of stress. Because when you reach that peak, you're no longer in control of your body. And, I would just say when you reach that peak, whether you're with somebody or whether you're not, just let it go. Just feel it. Enjoy it. Write it out. I mean, not literally, but if you have somebody, then literally. But no, just let it go. Let it happen for the duration. And it's just like, it is like a magical thing. In fact, there is something I read that a lot of times when you hit that peak, you can manifest things because your energy is pure. Your energy is at its highest. Your vibration is at its highest because it's peaking and it's just like, yeah, baby. And you can literally manifest things or put your intentions and set your manifestations because a lot of times we're not depending on how good it is, we're not necessarily in our right mind, right? So you're not going to think about it later. You're going to put it out there and let it happen. So I know your vibrator is not a genie, okay? Oh my God, this is going in the wrong direction. I literally was thinking you cannot just rub one out to get a wish. But, well, maybe you can. Maybe you can. I know. This went a little sideways, but you know what? Like I said, I got nothing. But I think sex can be magical. Now, I have to be honest with you. This Monday Oracle is turning in a little bit a lot of mental health stuff. We're talking about getting help, talking about asking for help, thinking outside of the box, the learning card. This is why I feel like Friday, this would have been the messages we got on Friday. But I really think that this is a magical card. I was not in a good place the last time I had been in relationships, the last time I dated, and it's been years and years and years. And I'm finally in a good mental health space. But I think the reason I giggle is because I've never really had a pure sexual experience, except by myself. So hey, there's no problem there. And I will say I've gotten smart and learned to buy rechargeable, because not rechargeable batteries, just rechargeable things. And always have a backup, ladies or gentlemen, whoever. Always have a backup, because you never know when they're gonna die. But yeah, I say that with a giggle, but I'm being very honest when I say that. Always have a backup. All right, especially if you're a girl. Okay, we're not. Well, no, we can, but some people don't like to get messy, their hands messy. So, you know, I have this weird thing about my hands being dirty, but I know it's weird. I think it's a little bit of my. I don't think I have OCD, but I think I have a little bit when it comes to that. Because sometimes I'm okay, and other times it's just like nope. But yeah, I'm sorry if I'm, you know, making people uncomfortable, but we get when we get uncomfortable, it means there's probably something that we need to heal. So please don't leave, okay? Because I still have to read this card. But one of the reasons I giggled when it said the mandrake plant is because the mandrake plant were the ones in Harry Potter where they pull them up and they're screaming. Maybe now we know why they were screaming. They were having a good time underground. But hey, who knows, right? Who knows? Who knows what's happening? They're like, no, I'm not done yet. Put me back, But I know. I really want to end the stigma of this, So don't be ashamed to pleasure yourself. Don't be ashamed to take care of your needs. Even if you have a partner, don't be afraid to take care of your needs. I mean, make sure you save something for them. But there may be times when they're not feeling well, or, I tell you one thing, if you learn to take care of yourself, it would really solve the cheating problem, right? I mean, because people sometimes they just have needs and they're not getting it from a certain place. And then, but talk to your partner too. Be open with them. Let them know what you need. I'll be honest with you. If I ever end up back in a relationship again, I'm a little nervous about the intimacy part, because I don't really know what to do. I feel like a virgin all over again. I'm just shit you not. I feel like a virgin all over again, because the experiences I had in the past were about making them happy, not me. And it should be an equal partnership when you're being intimate with somebody. You both should be getting something from one another. It's a team sport. And if you are not with somebody, if you do not have a person to be intimate with, then, and take care of yourself, then, do it. Solo sports, right? It's like being a figure skater out there by yourself, a single figure skater. You want to land everything, right? You want to feel good at the end of it. So just try to remove the stigma for yourself, because the stigma's dumb. The stigma's dumb. And I know I spent a lot of time giggling through this, but like I said, the reason I was giggling is because I'm sitting there like, I don't want to share this stuff today about my life. But like I said, if I had an intimate partner, I would not be talking about this unless they gave me permission about it. And sometimes I think it is good for people to talk about it, to show people, hey, this is how we worked through this person's thing, or this is how we worked through that person's thing. Whatever they may have that's a block on them that makes them afraid, that makes them, nervous about opening up or getting naked in front of somebody. So sometimes those are the good conversations we can have. Unfortunately, like I said, I'm single, so I'm not in that place where I can have that conversation with somebody and say, hey, you want to join me? But eventually I'm sure there's somebody out there. I'm sure there's people out there. There are counselors and everything. So if you're struggling with this, seek professional help. There are sex counselors out there. Hey, everybody remember Dr. Ruth, right? I mean, from the 80s and 90s. I know I'm dating myself here, but it's no secret how old I am. I've only mentioned it like a billion times since my birthday in January. But yeah, they are out there. In fact, I know one. One of my very, very good friends, that is her specialty. So, and she actually really kind of helped me start on my healing journey, even before my mom passed away, because we would talk about like healing some of the trauma that I had, and some of the the intimacy issues I had. And she kind of helped me leapfrog by just counseling me, like saying, hey, what is this stigmatizing you? She helped me work through the stuff in my head. So there are people out there who are willing to help. And I think, for her, I was a guinea pig, how, like practicing her skills on me, her therapist skills on me. And then for me, it was a win-win situation. I had a friend who needed someone to practice on to figure out how their mind works, especially someone with a traumatized, past. And, I got free therapy. So, so anyways, sex magic. Let's read about it. The mandrake plant has been used since ancient Egypt times as a symbol of love and sex. The mandrake root is said to resemble the human form, and because of this was used in medieval times as the main ingredient in powerful love spells. Mandrake has a sedative quality and was once used as an aphrodisiac, but is now considered poisonous. Anyways, the mandrake was once referred to as Satan's apple. Seriously? Anyways, in medieval Europe, to own and care for a mandrake plant was thought to attract success and fertility. This intriguing plant has a long history of magic and sensuality. This card portends exciting new relationships and flirtations. Sex magic encourages sensuality and physical pleasure without self-doubt or guilt. This card can indicate a fated meeting, a soul connection that was always meant to happen. There's a reason we feel a kinship to certain people, as they may be part of the soul group we belong to. Your spiritual tribe decided to come to Earth at the same time to achieve a higher goal. Allow yourself to explore these connections further. This unicorn foretells a chance meeting with an important person. The connection may be fleeting or long-lasting, but it will have an impact on your life. You can instantly feel a past life connection with someone. No matter how this meeting happens, be assured that what is meant for you will come to you. Let's see. The unicorn suggests lighting a candle in front of the sex magic card to start the powerful process of soul connection on a magical level. You know what I'll be doing tonight. Lighting a candle in front of this bad boy. So I'm going to put it right on the top. I'm going to put it right on the top of the deck. So give me a week, a few weeks, maybe a month, and I'll let you know. I'll let you know if it worked or not. But remember, if you are a person who does magic, if you are a person who's new to magic, if you are a person who does manifestations, sets intentions, or prays, prayer is a form of magic. I don't care what anybody says. Prayer is a form of magic. It's just another word for setting an intention or a manifestation. But I'm not here to step on toes, okay? I still have a very Catholic background. It just is what it is. But my mind has expanded in a lot of different directions, and I don't necessarily subscribe anymore to organized religion, just because a lot of times my ideas don't fit in a box. They just fit out in the world. And like I said, that's not against anybody. That is not sibling. Please don't set the house on fire. Okay, seriously, I light candles like every night when I'm home, or incense. But I will be sure to not set the house on fire. But anyways, again, you know what? I'll put a picture of this in the comments. So if you're watching this on YouTube and this is something you want to try, go to my Facebook page. And I will also, if you don't have Facebook, I'm trying to think, because unfortunately I can't put pictures. You know what? Here, let me hold it up for you right now. And they have apps where you can flip the screen around. I'll flip the screen for you. Hold on 1 second. I will flip the screen for you. I'll give you about 5 seconds. So this way you can take a picture and then light your own candle in front of it, okay? So there you go. All right, and I will put the description in there. For anybody watching later, I'll try to put it in there that it's probably at the 43 mark. But yeah, so that way you can do it. Pink candles, red candles, white candles all work for love magic. But remember, you're not just going for love, you're going for that soulmate connection, that person that is meant for you. You're just needing to tighten that connection, because wherever they are in the world, you need to start reeling them in. You came here together and maybe you landed, think of it as like a spaceship, right? Like, ooh, they broke into the atmosphere, but one landed over here and one landed way over there, and maybe not even in the same year, not even the same month. But they have to find each other now. So that's your homework if you want to try it, for those who are interested in trying it. I will say this though, if you do practice magic and you have never practiced it before, protect your space. If you have a higher power, if you have a guardian, if you have somebody that you turn to that's a higher power or an angel or whatever that protects your space, ask them to protect your space, because you don't want any negative, bad shit coming in. All right? Always protect your space before you do something. I know a lot of people will just say, they'll dabble and be like, oh my God, I want to try this. And they don't protect their space. And then they let other things in. I'm going to sidetrack here because I have a few minutes left. I'm going to sidetrack here. It's the same with like a Ouija board, right? People are terrified of Ouija boards. Ouija boards are bad when people do not respect the power that they have. A lot of people will say, they're evil, they're not real. People who, who basically spiritually reside in the metaphysical know how to use a Ouija board. They know how to protect their space. They know to be very specific when they're calling people in. They know to say no negative spirits are allowed during this reading or during this session. They know what to do. Or they know how to protect themselves, and they know how to close that door. If you don't know any of these things, it's not just a board game. It may be in the toy aisle, but it's not a board game. It is a very serious spiritual tool. That's the same with pendulums. That's the same with finger testing if you finger test. Always make sure it is protected. Okay? I have had to shut doors for people in the past. In fact, one of the very first times was in high school, and I didn't even realize I had this gift. I don't even know why they came to me to ask me for help. But one of them said, I had a dream that told me to come to you, and so I am, and I'm not sure if it was real or not, but we need help because something bad is happening. And somehow I just knew what to tell them. Burn it, sweep up the ashes, throw it away. Or just throw it in the trash. Because they tried to throw it in the trash, and that didn't work. Okay, I'm not going to go into details, but it was pretty freaky. But I was just like, but I do have, this runs in my family. This gift runs in my family. And so, you can shut it down if you want, but I have never been able to. And now I just accept it. And because I've accepted it, it is really expanded. So, and I don't want to scare anybody off with those thoughts, okay? Because these things aren't evil, It's like a weapon. The weapon itself isn't evil. It's the people that use them. Now, I will admit, some weapons do not need to be in existence or owned by regular people. That's a whole other topic. Some weapons just do not need to be in civilian hands. However, there are people who are very careful with their things. There are people who take care of it, who respect the power that it has. Now, when you look at a tool, a spiritual tool, you may think, well, that's not like a weapon. It can be weaponized. Anything can be weaponized. This book can be weaponized. And why? Because there's a paper clip in here. And that paper clip can be turned into something that can hurt somebody. So, or even the corner, the pages, you can hit someone over the head and do some pretty good damage because it's a hardback, but, or a hardcover. So just be careful, especially with spiritual stuff. I love the Unicorn Oracle deck. It does have its magical properties on it, but just be careful. All right. And like I said, if you're on Facebook, I am going to put it in the comments, a picture of it in the comments. So, if you want to print it and do your thing, so that's up to you. But, just please be careful. Do your homework. Don't just jump in feet first and think you're just going to be Harry Potter at the end of it. All right. 'Cause that ain't happening. Just be careful. So I hope everybody has a wonderful, wonderful day. I have some really good subjects that I have to read up on. I'll probably read up on them tonight and do some homework on them and get them rolling for the week. Last week I talked a lot about narcissists and toxicity, toxic relationships and stuff. And I think as we're heading towards the end of Mental Health Awareness Month, which again should be Mental Health awareness year, I'm going to talk about some of these things. And I do believe that sometimes these people can change. I do. When they lose everything, that's important to them, sometimes that's enough to be a catalyst for change. And some people, it's just a mental health thing, and that's just how they are. And you either have to talk them out of it, or you have to get them help so that they can fix it. But let's not judge. All right, I'm going to talk about those later this week, and I think they'll be good subjects because I can honestly say that every single one of us have either been in this position or been on the other side of this. So yeah. So I hope everybody has a wonderful, wonderful day. Please, please, please take care of yourselves. And yeah, I'll be back here tomorrow. Or not here. I'll be back tomorrow, 8:30 a.m. Pacific time, Facebook Live. All lives are public. Anybody can watch. I also share them to my Facebook page and my YouTube channel, the Aloha, both under the Aloha Perspective. And if you follow me on Twitter, you'll probably find it there. So again, if you're on Instagram, I will post this card there as well. I know, I'm sorry. All of a sudden, it's like my brain just feels like it fell out of my head, and I cannot put a sentence together now. But have a great, great day, everybody. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see everybody tomorrow.